If trust even becomes an issue, it's done. And then she tried to throw the Christian thing. Do you trust God? I said, if I have to trust God, what am I serving him for? It implies that due to the fact that I have to trust God, then I'm feeling on the inside that, in fact, God is not reliable. Because why do I have to trust the Almighty? I mean, you know, that's just like my mother was asking me one day, do you ever pray for your sons? I said, no, I don't pray for my sons. Why should I have to ask God to watch over my sons? That's rooted in fear. And that's also rooted in my lack of confidence and lack of reliability on God. And I'm not playing with words or anything. But the whole thing is, if I have to trust someone, I'm not even going to be bothered. Because the whole trust issue, it creates tension in the relationship, and the root of it is fear. So this is why I say a lot of people see that my angle when it comes to trust is unique, but it's realistic. Because when you're enjoying one another's company, the moment there's a rhythm change and there's a pause, and you start asking questions and you start wondering things, the relationship is in its first stage of contamination. Well, that was a quick response. I guess some of you got upset when you heard me say, I don't pray for my sons, and why should I have to pray for my sons? If the Almighty brought them into the world. This is my take on that. If God brings your children into the world, just like any father, it's your responsibility to protect those children. Now, people may say, well, God gives a responsibility to their father to protect the children. So God gives responsibility to a human being who is said to have limitations and therefore has the possibility of failing in that area. See, what it is with y'all have this thing that's called, you got to stay prayed up. You got to stay prayed up. Another problem that y'all have is that you guys are believers. See, me, I know that the Creator is looking out for my son, so I don't have to ask, oh Lord, because see, this is what y'all do. You get on your knees and you start praying. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I really don't care how you perceive this, but you need to check yourself. The whole thing is this. A lot of you get on your knees when you start having trouble with your children. Your children start running wild in the street, and then you get on your knees and you say, Lord, please protect my children. Lord, please watch over my children. Watch over my children. Why? Because you failed to watch over them? And that's the reason why they're running the streets. See, their purpose is between themselves and the Creator. Because when the Creator speaks life into a woman's womb, that is called time and purpose. There's a time for your children to be to go under conception inside the womb, and then after 9 months or even earlier or a little bit longer, that is their time to come into the world to serve their purpose. So it's time and purpose. Now, what makes you think that the Creator would go through that to create another human being and not have the father type instinct to watch over those children consistently? So why are you asking God to watch over your children When God brought them into the world, God has taken responsibility for them to be here because they have a measurement of time to fulfill their purpose. And during that measurement of time, they are being taken care of by the Creator. You have just failed as parents. That's all that is. I don't have to pray for my sons because, as y'all say, I know God got my sons. My sons are protected. So I don't have to worry about my sons. Now, one of you guys brought up the night that my son had got hit by a car. And this woman, I can tell she was black. You went in the lobby and you was praying to God and you told God, if you take my son from me, it's going to be me and you. That's because you didn't understand what I said. I wasn't praying to God. I had a discussion with God. And I told God that if you take my son from me, it's going to be me and you. Does that sound like a prayer? Did I say, you better let my son live and all? We don't have any control over anything. That's the whole point. You didn't have any control over when conception started in the womb. You don't have any control over when your children leave the womb. You don't have any control over when they pass away. You have absolutely no control over that. And the fact is, a lot of you are afraid because you know that you don't have any control over the beginning and the end of your children. That night, I was told that when God had asked me, if I take your son from you, will you be able to accept it? I told him yes, because what choice do I have? I didn't bring him here, and I can't prevent him from leaving here, because in that sense, you are indeed the Almighty, because you create life and you end life. So therefore, we as human beings don't have any control over the lives of our children in terms of when they get here and when they leave here. And until you understand that, then you will understand where I'm coming from. After that night, I was able to accept anything. So I don't waste my time getting on my knees asking the Creator, oh, watch over my children. To me, that's offensive. That's offensive because you're implying that the Creator is too preoccupied and the Creator has forgotten about your children, and you have to remind the Creator to continue to look over your children. The Creator is present, and until you have enough confidence in the Creator to know that, then you will stop walking around here in that type of fear in reference to your children. And see, and that's a fear that all of us share. The biggest fear that we have for our children are losing them. However, no matter how much you teach them, no matter how much you teach them is right, and you point the ways that they should go and the ways that they should not go, when it's time for your children to leave here, there's nothing that you can do about that. You can't do anything about that. Where I'm at with that subject is that I have confidence in the Creator, that the Creator is always with my children. And I've always seen that. So I don't have to get on my knees and I'm stricken with fear and anxiety. Lord, please watch over my children. Oh, please watch over them out there in this crazy world. My sons are protected, and your children are protected. And this is what you're going to have to come, not to believe, but to know. You have to know that. And then one of you threw the scripture at me. Well, God knows what we need before we ask? Well, then why do you pray then? If you have confidence that God is going to establish and supply what you need before you ask, then why pray? Why do we even know what a need is if this is a fact? Because obviously that's not true. Because if that was true, then we would know what a need is. So basically what I'm saying, our condition would never get to the point to where we feel as though we need to obtain something for our peace of mind, because going up to it, to that time of where we as human beings are going to need something, the Creator has already supplied it according to your scripture. So if it's already supplied by God, then why do we even know what a need is? Okay? The thing is, you must know that your children are under the Creator's protection according to their destiny. You have nothing to do with your children's destiny. Their destiny is between God and themselves. Despite how much we would love our children to be this way or that way, we have this selfish thing going on, and it is selfish. And a lot of us don't talk about it enough. I never want to see my children die. That would hurt me so much to go to my child's funeral and lose my baby. I would rather die. Also, you would rather die and leave them with the pain that you're telling the rest of the world you don't never want to feel. You see how this is? So what we have to do is start teaching our children about death and what it is. Because we're walking around here with this concept of death that we got from the European, to where when the organism ends, that's it. You have no more relationship with your children or with your family members, which is immensely untrue, because they go back to everything that bears life and power. The sun, the wind, everything that bears life right around you. Your loved ones are right there. That's where they are. So if you lose one of your children, or lose your mother or any other family member, they're not going anywhere. They're in everything that bears life and power. So if you want to spend time with your mother, get up early in the morning to watch the sunrise. Go outside and feel the wind blow against your organism. That's where your mother is. That's where your father is. That's where your children are, because they've gone back to all of those things that bear life and power. The only thing that has run its course is the organism that they lived in, but they haven't gone anywhere. They haven't gone anywhere. You have to teach your children about death. And you have to meditate and ask the Creator alone to explain to you what death is, because you're not going to learn about what death is listening to some preacher. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The Creator brought my sons here. The Creator is taking care of my sons. Okay? I know this. I don't believe it. I know it. This is the reason why I told my mother I don't have to pray for my sons. My sons are living out their destiny, and the Creator is with them. Because getting on your knees talking about, oh Lord, watch over my children, you're claiming that God is separated from your children. God, watch over my children. God was watching over your children before they came out of the womb. That's why they survived the pregnancy. What is wrong with you people? God is present. The Creator is present. Those are some things that you are going to have to understand. I've already went through the fire and came to that understanding. So don't be afraid to go through the fire, because you're going to go through the fire. Because your own curiosity is going to tell God that I'm ready to go through the fire because I'm curious about this thing. And God, please teach me, show me these things. And if you have to go through the fire for the Creator to give that understanding and that knowledge to you to settle your curiosity, then it's going to transpire. Just be willing to go through it. And you're going to be willing to go through it because you're not going to have a choice. Because your mind is not going to get, it's not going to be settled unless you have those answers. So no, I don't pray for my sons because I don't have to. I don't have to. Because I know that my sons are under the divine's protection. I don't ever have to worry about them. Not if something happens to them. Can I do anything about it? All I can do is go to them and support them while they're here, because I'm here in the flesh as their father. But if the Creator says that your sons have run their course and it's time for them to leave their organism, what is it that I can do about that? Nothing. Can I prevent it? No. What can I do? What can I do about it? Nothing but accept it. Because you still have to move on. The reason why a whole lot of us have that fear inside, and that's a natural fear, but don't you ever offend the Creator, asking the Creator to watch over your family members as though the Creator has removed itself from your family's members and they are no longer under the Creator's protection. That's offensive. That is what offends God. So I'm gonna have to cut this short because I need to get ready for work. I just wanted to respond to that and also give some insight on it. So I didn't make this video to beat up on anybody like that. And the reason why I'm talking so fast is because I'm in a rush right now. But if you have any more issues with my first video that's based upon trust and everything, feel free, and I know you are. But a lot of you are going to have to know that your children are under God's protection. And all of this, we have to stay prayed up. And then you turn around and say, God got me. Well, which one is it? If God got you the way that you claim, then why do you feel that I got to stay prayed up, I got to stay prayed up? You don't sound like you have confidence in God at all. You have to stay prayed up. Those prayers are deeply rooted in fear and a lack of confidence in the Creator's presence. Y'all need to really get it together. And I greet everyone a very beautiful and pleasant night. And everyone stay human. Y'all have a good night. Peace.